In this video, we're going to look at a very talented community member who's taking something complex and putting visuals to it. Is there trouble in Libra land? Are people getting ready to back out of backing Libra? We're going to take a closer look at that. And I want to go over an organization that I think is going to have a massive impact on the world and the crypto space at large. And it all starts right now. Let's go. Chip here off the block. Welcome everybody. You can find out more about us at www.onthechain.io. Go to onthechain.io. You can sign up for updates there, find out what we're up to, what we're doing, see who all the other content creators are and contributors are on this channel. Let's dive in the shallow end, shall we? Now, I had mentioned that we were going to talk a little bit about somebody very talented. This is none other than Jonny Lawrence. Jonny Lawrence is a massive talent in our space. Great to have him here, and what he's doing, he's animating. So he's a 2D animator, illustrator, dog lover. Who isn't? My God, I'm a dog lover. Crypto fan and MMA enthusiast. I worked for Disney, the UN, banks, NGOs, and more. So it's he's got a pretty exciting. I've never reached out and spoken to him, but I thought it was somebody worth mentioning on this, and featuring right here off the block, because he is somebody who has a lot of. Let's take a look at what he's done. So you guys may have been familiar with this. Now, if you've seen this, you may not know who has done it, but it's none other than Jonny Lawrence. Now, what he's doing here, just look at this. Imagine you try to explain to your friends what XRP is. What's XRP? I don't get it. Well, here's XRP right here. You see fiat currency being exchanged literally in about 3 seconds here, which perfectly illustrates it. So you're seeing fiat change, and you can see it going through the magical center point of XRP. So one of the things I like about this, I actually sent this to my brother. I downloaded this animation because Jonny makes it available. I know he said, hey, if you want to download this. I texted it to my brother, who also holds XRP. And one of the things he said, oh my God, OMG, this makes it so easy. I just have to show this animation to people and they get it. So I want to thank Jonny, big shout out to him for doing this. And so he came out with something new, which I think also deserves some merit too, because this is even more complex. So there we go with our Nostro, Vostro accounts right there. Boom, zoom out. There's the bridge asset for walled gardens. You can see XRP in the center there. And if you look in, it just kind of keeps popping back and forth. There's your Nostro, Vostro. There's the XRP balance sheet. And then boom, we roll out and we see, Great Britain, Japan, Brazil. This is a phenomenal concept. It's difficult maybe for people to understand. You can see it being unlocked right there. And I have to say that I'm very impressed with his work. I'm assuming he's using probably After Effects. He probably can confirm that. But I just wanted to throw some, he's only had 622 tweets. This should have thousands of tweets right here. So let's go back and showcase him again. I'll have him down below. But Jonny Lawrence, and he's at _ Jonny, JONNY LAWRENCE. And obviously, I always hate that. On the chain, you can follow us too. We're at on _ chain. Why? Because somebody already had it, but we're working on getting that back into our walled garden, which is really decentralized space number one, which is on the chain. So I wanted to say, hey, a big shout out to Jonny Lawrence. Keep those animations coming. Very proud of you. Great to have you as part of our community. And let's pop over here. Let's see what else is going on. So Visa, MasterCard, reconsider backing Facebook's Libra. Oh no. Oh, don't say it's not so. Well, apparently it is so. So you have shadow of a 3D printed Facebook. Oh, this is a file photo. What am I reading here? MasterCard Inc. And other financial key partners will reconsider their involvement in Facebook Inc.'s cryptocurrency Libra, the Wall Street Journal reported on Tuesday, citing people familiar with the matter. So I think what you're going to find happening, if you remember, there was a $10 million upfront sort of a buy-in for this, and we saw all kinds of people flocking to it. This is what was going to do the initial raise for them. And so what probably is going to happen, there's always group and strength in numbers. So nobody wants to pull out by themselves, but hey, Visa, MasterCard pulls out. Next thing you'll see a whole bunch of slew of other people just kind of pulling out. And why would you want to associate yourself with something that's had such disastrous press? And as you know, Visa and MasterCard have a lot going on their own when it comes to leveraging cryptocurrency. I can't see them really moving past that anymore. Facebook announced plans to launch the digital currency in June of 2020, and by July of 2020, they announced it in, I think it was back in June of 2019. And the funny thing is, it didn't take long, 2-3 weeks, and it was almost as if there was incoming from everywhere. That was one of the fastest congressional hearings that I've seen scheduled. Meanwhile, we have a token taxonomy bill that's been lagging sitting in committee still, hasn't come out of committee for a vote in the House. And you saw in that conference where they just pummeled the whole Libra team, and why they were moving to Switzerland, because we don't have any sort of regulatory clarity, which was one of the key reasons. So you saw that happen. And meanwhile, what do they have sitting on their desk in committee? Well, they've got the token taxonomy bill that's just kind of been lagging. So also, I want to talk a little bit about Grant for the Web. I feel that this organization is probably going to do more for the space than really anything else. I've never been more excited for this project. And if you remember, Grant for the Web, it's a $100 million fund to boost open, fair, and inclusive standards for innovation and web monetization. And I love this too, because you're starting to see that this isn't just one person. This has Coil behind it. And if you don't know anything about Coil, go to coil.com and go ahead and spend $5 and go ahead and register. That way, when you visit sites, you'll be able to donate Coil, their micropayments via XRP. So open standards, built-in monetization for creators. As you can see, there's Coil, Mozilla, and Creative Commons. They're all about supporting a healthy ecosystem, and content creators we seek makers of all stripes, web devs, game developers, bloggers, photographers, musicians. I mean, they're really covering the entire universe. And what they're offering is something that's open, privacy-centric. We're not leveraging your personal data or the people that visit these content creators' personal data to make something out of it. And I just love where they're going at this. I think this is huge. It's just all behind it as much as I can. If you want to go follow them and keep up to date on what they're up to, they're at Grant for the Web, at Grant for the Web. Follow them on Twitter. Just a phenomenal organization. And funny enough, they were over at this conference called ViewSource Conference in the Netherlands. The Coil CEO just mooned. If you know who that is, that's none other than Stefan Thomas. Stefan Thomas, there he is. You know him. He left Ripple and he founded Coil. And he did a whole talk on web monetization for content creators, talked about Grant for the Web. And obviously, you can find out more here. But this is somebody who was actually at, this was taken from the presentation of Grant for Web, but I've also seen other photos out there as well. Here's somebody, Melanie Richards, at So Melanie said, intrigued by Coil and company's ideas for web monetization. Publishers receive micropayments as you browse. And what it looks like here is somebody that's not necessarily familiar with how this works. So this is pretty exciting. Here's somebody's take. And this Melanie Richards here's her take. She's a program manager for the web platform at Miss Edge Dev, previously design dev at Fuzzco. So this is somebody that might not be familiar with the space, and she's seeing this for the first time, and she's like, huh, she's even putting the little huh emoji, right? So she's intrigued by it. Also, too, I wanted to talk a little bit about this. After 25 years, the W3C still hammering out the web's core technology, but it faces challenges like Google Chrome dominance and the continuing after effects of its abandonment 15 years ago of HTML standardization. And BrendanEich, you may know him as the founder, former Mozilla chief head, CEO, but you also know him for the Brave browser. He says, yeah, but thank goodness Apple, Mozilla, and Opera did what WG.org, and that led to the HTML5 and the W3.org formal structure. When MS threw in the towel, Microsoft threw in the towel after Chrome launched, not a coincidence, right? So do we need what WG for privacy now? Funny, we're talking about privacy. We talk about privacy a lot on this channel. Let's take a look at this. I saw this tweet here. This is Cherri Pancake at ACM_president. We keep hearing Google say privacy is important. So when the World Wide Web Standards Group, the W3C, wanted to strengthen privacy, Why was Google's parent, Alphabet, the only one of 25 members to block the measure? Huh. Interesting, right? That is interesting. Why were they the only ones to block it? I don't know. There's something obviously going on there, right? We talk about privacy, and remember Google's mantra is don't be evil. That's my take. I want to hear from you. I want you to come to check out the site onthechain.io. Let's check out some of the other creators. Again, the whole channel and the website supported by Coil. We're now throwing videos out to Cinnamon, to coil.com, and also YouTube, and soon you'll start seeing podcasts. So if you like what you're seeing here on YouTube, you're going to even love it when you start being able to take it with you, because we're going to be on multiple podcast platforms. Looking forward to that. Thank you as always. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. That's my take. What's yours? Chip